What's up, YouTube? KT here. Nice day today. Not a cloud in the sky. It's a little chilly this morning, but it's supposed to get up to the lower 80s today. So, doing a little update on my fender and hood situation. This is the one off the 69. I'm taking this EDP off. I don't know if I mentioned it in my other videos or not, but I'm taking the EDP off. On the outside anyways. Inside I'm just going to scuff it and shoot it. But I'm taking it off on the outside. I'm taking it down to bare metal. I really like how that epoxy, how the epoxy primer sealed the hood. This is, pay attention to all the shit I got stacked on my car. That's what happens when I leave it sitting for too long. I get lazy and just start coming and throwing stuff in here. But I spilled some of that paint stripper on here and it didn't even touch it. So this is some pretty good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and seal these fenders. Seal this one here, get the other one on the passenger side sealed. And then for the 71, let me put you down here so I can move this out of the way. Okay, for 71, I've started sanding them down. This is the passenger side. As you can tell, this is up front where the battery was. It's a little rough on the top. I still got to work on that and work on the inside up here, but I've got this all knocked down. This is the section that I removed. I'll be working on that today, and hopefully get it de-rusted or converted using either navel jelly or the prep and etch. And then on the underside here, pretty good on the outside. Body lines are nice and straight. Those are, that car there and that car is zooming ass down the road from these parts. Somebody put a sign up out there at the stop sign about an estate sale on our back in the neighborhood back behind me. There goes another stranger. And I've already had to tell half a dozen people today, no, this is not the estate sale, because I got my garage open and I got my stuff out in the driveway. And I have, you know, I'm having to tell them no, that's down the road. But this one's in pretty good shape. Got a little bit of a right there. That had body filler in it, so that shouldn't take too much to skin back over. And I'm glad that I did, because I was thinking, I wonder if I should go ahead and just kind of clean it up and then finish it, but when I took it down, you can see the grind marks have rusted, and there was actually rust under the body filler. So let me ask you this question, guys. The reason I'm thinking in terms of excuse me, epoxy primer, I've seen a couple of videos from you guys. Mr. Fireman 164 did one, a really good one, about the epoxy binding or bonding to the bare metal, and he did OSFO, not OSFO, rinsed, not rinsed, etc., etc. But what I'm going to do is, when I get ready to start doing the body work on here, I've already got this, I had this all down to bare metal. Yeah, you probably maybe seen it in my last, one of my past videos. Excuse me, I had it all down to bare metal. And I'm just going to stick the body filler, I'm going to rough it up, give it a little bit of a bite with 80, and then stick the body filler on it. Do I need to do that? Do I just lay it on? I don't think I should lay it on, because it's too shiny, I think. So once I get the epoxy primer on, what's the next step? I had planned on scuffing it and sanding it with 80 grit and then doing body filler over that. On things like this, same thing, 80 grit, epoxy primer, and then body filler. Let me know what your comments are on that. This one got dinged pretty good up on the front here. I don't know if this is going to focus or not, or if you can see it. But it got beat up pretty good. This is all filler in here. They actually had they had way too much on here, more than they needed. And this whole seam right here was just this big gob of snot. You can still, I'm gonna dig this out right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looked really, really bad. And it was all the way down here. So I've got it knocked out. And where I started taking it down, it's still sticking pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way out, because I've seen where they put body filler right over paint. this fender, and then, so yeah, not too bad on this one. On the other one, it's in worse shape. This one had a ton of filler in it. I put that piece of masking tape in there because that matches my body line, and this thing was actually caved in from the outside, and then they took a damn peen hammer and just beat the shit out of it and knocked it in, right? So they had, I don't know if you can see it right down there, but they took a hammer and just knocked all these little dimples in it to get the rough contour of the body line, and then filled all that in. So I'm going to try to straighten that out. This was really bad. I took some before and after pictures on this one here, and this is a before and after video. But that's pretty much the only bad spot on it. And then here, this is all rust. Rust right there. You can see the shadow of the camera, but this was rust right here. All this was rust. All surface rust. All under the other primer. So I'm going to hit this to convert it. And same thing down here. I mean, this is smooth. It's really, really smooth, but you can see where that rust has gotten down inside the metal. But I'm going to hit this with the converter, and then same thing here, same question. Got a lot of work to do right there. I'm going to weld these up, grind them down, fill these holes in, and I'm going to try to pop this out a little bit more right up in here, and then straighten this lip out. It needs to curl under a little bit more. Pull that out and get me a stud gun. So that's my next question is on something like this, epoxy primer and then filler over, or what? And then my last question has to do with when to use body filler, or is when to use body filler or Duraglass, I think it's called. I've seen quite a few guys use some, and then glazing compound, and so on and so forth. So my question is, what order? Can I just use body filler? Do I need to use the Duraglass? It looked to me like people are using the Duraglass to cover over some pretty rough areas, which all those pock marks, if I can't get them straightened out, then I'll have to do something with that. Let me know if you would, please. I'm getting to the point to where one of these days I'll be doing some body work on the Monte Carlo. Hopefully here soon. Once I get all these sealed and painted and get this shit out of my garage, then I'll get the Monte Carlo and start working on it. But I'd like to have some idea, that way I can get the stuff ordered, get it here when I'm ready to use it. So hope everybody's having a good day, and we'll get this uploaded and let you know what my plans are for the weekend. And then on Sunday we're going to do the raffle, and probably another update to let you know what kind of progress I got done. Oh, one more thing, I'll show you the hood and then I'll let you go. Alright, hang on. Alright, here's the hood. I dug all kinds of crap out of it right here. And they did the same thing, whoever it was. The same body man did the same work on this hood, because same issue as well. Boom, 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 where they just took one of their pointy hammers, whatever the hell it's called, and just pocked it all to hell. And look at all this rust. All this rust was under primer and under body filler. So get that neutralized. But here's the this is the ugly side. This is Mr. Hyde. This is Dr. Jekyll over here. Got a high spot here. You can hit it. That's weird. That's like some kind of imperfection in the metal or something really high. This is not a factory hood. All three of these pieces that I bought from that guy, they're all aftermarket. They're reproduction. And I don't give a shit because it was $225. But a little filler to do here. I looked at this last night. I shined the light on it, and I've got that little spot there. This has a ridge in it. I've got this high spot and this low spot and that low spot, but everything else is nice and smooth on this side of the hood. But there it is. before and after. So I'm gonna get this done too, get it sealed. And what was another question? I had one more question for you. Oh crap. Let me think of it. Aha, I remembered. When I was sanding this, I was pushing down on it pretty hard, and you can see here, it's kind of thin. Oh, let me do it better angle like this. And I'm wondering, I think it's just because it's aftermarket, so it might be a little thinner. Excuse me, the metal might be a little thinner on it. Or if you think that this brace may have gotten collapsed. I can see, like right back in there, I would zoom in, but I'm holding this with one hand and holding the hood with the other, holding the camera with one hand. But I can see where there's about an 1/8 of an inch gap in there. Any ideas on what I can use to glue that back together, number one, and number two, how I would be able to raise the arc on this hood to get it back to where I don't have this. And the reason I'm asking, I want to do it on that hood, but then I also want to do it on the Monte Carlo, because back in the day when this thing got molested, they did the same thing here. I'm thinking rocket scientist jumped his fat ass up here and jumped around on my trunk as well. I know he did on my hood because it's got some creases in it, but same thing back here. What do you think I can do with that? How do you think I could raise that brace to get it back up so it matches the contour of the body panel? And then what could I possibly use to glue? Sorry, make sure you're looking at me. Oh, that's a good thing. To make sure that, there we go, to make sure that it glues back. I can see where they squirted something in there once upon a time in the day, and I don't just want to do like silicone or liquid nails or anything. Maybe there's an epoxy or something if somebody's done it before. Let me know, thanks. We'll holler at you guys on the next one. Oh look, it's one of the bought not built guys. The back neighborhood. Yep. Guy probably doesn't even know how to change the oil in the thing. He's got that. He's got like a '64 El Camino and a Chevy too, and has never worked on any of them.